Bluford Putnam, Chief Economist, CME Group. Good to see you at the Global Conference in LA.
Oh, it's great to be here.
You spoke on a panel about the U.S. economic recovery, and I'm going to quote you directly. You said Janet Yellen's dissertation is out of date. So what exactly were you implying when you said that?
Well, economists have in our DNA whatever we wrote our dissertation on. Mine was on exchange rates, so Ben Bernanke's was on the Great Depression. So when 2008 happened, he really had an idea what to do. Janet Yellen's dissertation was on labor markets and why they didn't respond to the recession of 1980-81. That is, why corporations didn't cut wages and you didn't get the kind of classical economic reaction you thought you would have gotten. And then it's even more interesting, and by the way, it's a really good dissertation. She went on to write some excellent articles on labor markets, and then she married a labor economist who won a Nobel Prize. So she's an expert on labor markets, but the labor markets today aren't the 1980s. They're not even the 1990s. Technology has changed everything we know about how labor markets work, as has the globalization of the world. So when I say her research is out of date, it really says that the world is so different now in terms of globalization, competition, and technology that if you're relying on these old economic ideas, they're not going to work for you.
You also made a point about how, depending on your job, if you're a problem solver, you're going to do well, and you use the example that your plumber is a problem solver.
Yes.
So we're really going to see a change in the labor force. You mentioned that if technology is assisting in any way, you could be in trouble.
It's not that technology assists, but if your job is more repetition, that you're not actually solving something, thinking about it, then your wages are likely going to be stuck for a while. So people look at this labor market and they say, why haven't wages risen? And they haven't risen because in these jobs that are not problem-solving jobs, they have tremendous international competition. They're being disrupted in all kind of different ways. And so the aspirations and potential for wage rises in these kind of jobs are not very good. And unfortunately, that's the bulk of the jobs. But problem solvers have a great future. By the way, this is the same kind of theory that Sal Khan uses with the Khan Academy and why education is important and how you have to move it along, because you want to be in that problem solver group. But notice, this is not manual versus skills and these old concepts. This is how much do you use your brain in your job to solve things.
It's a great point. I want to move on and ask you about commodity prices, because you are, of course, with CME. Energy, you see more disruption there.
Yes, energy markets, obviously oil collapsed in 2014. 2015, we were worried about how low it could go. 2016, it's rebounded. We're kind of finding a trading range. We're coming up with this new reality that, the Middle East used to set the price of oil. Now the U.S. sets it because shale oil is so flexible, so agile. We can up production, down production. We've cut rig count in half, but kept production up. So oil from the U.S. has really become the swing producer. But the potential disruption is down the road between energy sources. Like natural gas in the U.S., it's $2 for a million BTUs of energy. That same $2 in the oil market, when refined, is only going to get you like 400,000 BTUs, maybe a little less. So there's tremendous opportunity to rearrange how we use fuels, and that's just in the fossil fuel sector. Don't get me on wind and solar, so there's a lot of change coming in the energy sector over the next 10 years. We've just seen the beginning.
Bluford Putnam, great speaking with you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.